Welcome to the Norwegian woods. It's in the middle of April and spring is truly fully here and it's lovely. There's a little bit of a breeze today. Hope it's not gonna create too much issue with the sound quality. And I'm also aware that, my face is covered in shadow and light, but this is how it will be. We're in the woods after all. I'm gonna speak today about a controversial topic, a much needed topic, the kind of topic that has been silenced and hushed for a long time because this hasn't been politically correct. So I'm Eivind, I'm the founder of Reclaiming Your Throne, a 3-month rite of passage for men, and we're also an organization that is putting out many trainings to help men really take the next step and up-level their life in order for them to serve humanity and their loved ones more. So I have been really immersed in masculine psychology since late 2014, when this truly became my life purpose. I've seen the tragic consequences of the war. I don't think we can call it anything else. The war on masculinity that's been waged in our culture for many decades. The questioning, the demonizing, the shaming of men and masculinity. It's become more and more kosher to say that, oh, what do we even need men for? A world without men would be so much better, and so on and so forth. In a sane culture, to say that the world would be better without half of the population alive is pretty insane. That would be considered insane in a sane culture. But these days, it has become fairly commonplace. But right now, things have shifted, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm here in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm essentially in quarantine, as are billions of the rest of you out there as well. And oh my God, what a relief to be out in the woods. Fortunately, that's not illegal, and I would fucking go out even if it were. So, but what I'm seeing is that there is a shift internally in men happening, with men finding back to a sense of dignity, a sense of purpose, a sense of power. And in my own relationship, I am watching how myself and her are responding to what's happening in quite dramatically different ways. She's moving inwards into a more of an emotional, introverted space. She's wanting more time together with me and to just feel a bit of stress relief and pleasure aside or away from everything that's happening. Whereas me personally, my awareness is going out and I'm looking at the world and I'm like, how can I serve what's happening? How can I help as many people as possible get through this rite of passage in a way that not only uplevels their life, but that brings about a true paradigm shift in humanity? I'm seeing this happen to a lot of other men as well, even men that I've previously seen as disempowered and weak. So, what's happening? What's happening is that crisis is the birth of masculine purpose. Crisis is the realization for individuals and collectives that we need men in their masculine. Certainly we need some women in their masculine as well, but mainly we need men in their masculine, rising and to being the ones who provide and protect like we always have been. So the reason why masculinity in men have been increasingly demonized for the last several decades is that the infrastructure and the level of abundance that we've experienced in our culture has been so high that we feel on a certain level that we're invulnerable. We don't need masculinity because the systems, the infrastructure, the food coming into stores, the lack of real danger in our life It's probably been the most decadent decades of human history, the last couple of decades. Sure, there have been challenges, the 2008 financial crisis and the dot-com boom or bust, but essentially we've been so incredibly well off. And especially now, we've had around 12 years of economic growth. 12 years. In that environment, something shifts internally in us, and I think particularly in women, but certainly also in men, is that there is a growing feeling of, I don't need men. Masculinity has been outsourced to systems. At the same time, because we kind of don't like, on some level, being dependent on those systems, we also have to start to demonize those systems. So we're in this weird paradigm of living better lives than we ever have because of the functioning masculine infrastructure, and at the same time attacking that masculine infrastructure and masculine men more than ever before. COVID-19 has changed everything. I see it in my relationship. I see it in so many relationships. I see it in the commentary online because, you know, a lot of our observation of the world is happening through Facebook and articles these days. There is a shift. Men are becoming popular again. Because when the systems, when the square around the circle, so to speak, symbolically, collapses, or when that comes into question in such a total way as it has been now, individuals, men mainly, need to provide that square, that protective boundary, the walls of the house, so to speak, yet again. So the reason right now that all of a sudden we're not talking in denigrating and shaming ways about men so much anymore, or maybe the armies of the politically correct are just too scared to be vocal about it. We're not talking in that way because we know that doing so, shaming and disempowering and attacking the very source of the square around the circle, of the protective boundary around the vulnerability that we feel. If we take that away, we're screwed. We need to get order from someplace. If it's not from the systems and the infrastructure, it will be from people wielding the masculine, benevolent ordering function. Mainly men. And so crisis becomes the birth of masculine purpose. As men, we can feel in our bones that on some level our nature is now more welcome. The world wants us yet again. The world wants us to be expressing ourselves unfiltered, unfettered by the shackles of political correctness and demonization of the whole male gender, to bring us fully into the world. And that's the invitation. That's the invitation that's been given you, brother. And I wish and I hope that you take it. Because a lot of people, because they're afraid of answering that invitation, instead, they try to make sense of the chaos. They try to make order in chaos through conspiracy theories. If I know what's happening in my own alternate telling of reality, then it feels like I have a greater level of grounding, greater level of sense of purpose, because I know who the enemy is, and I will certainly fight them by sitting in front of my keyboard and posting Facebook memes. If you were conspiratorial before COVID-19, This is the time to end. Because COVID-19 is an underworld journey. And underworld journeys are the territory of initiation. And initiation is the death of the old and the birth of the new. So if you were a conspiratorial person prior, then stop that now and take responsibility. Rise. Realize that you in your fullness, in your masculine fullness, your male glory, you are needed, you're invited, and you're welcome. So that's my message to you today. Crisis is the birth of masculine purpose. Times of abundance and decadence are the death of masculine purpose, and the demonization of men begins as we are more abundant than ever. It's a paradox. But when the masculine infrastructure is at its peak, that's when we begin to demonize men the most, because we don't need them anymore, we think. But it's an illusion, and we're all about to realize this was and always will be an illusion, and the authentic, sovereign, empowered, loving, benevolent, blessing, generative masculine is invited back to the arena to play. Bring it. Bring it and make the world better. I believe in you. Let's do this. This has been Eivind. See you in the next video.